Okay, hi guys, welcome back to my channel after a long time. So before we get into the topic of today's video, I have a few small things to talk about first. Number one, for those of you asking me, Aravind, where have you been? You haven't uploaded videos in weeks or even months. What's going on? Well, it means you haven't kept yourself up to date because number one, you guys know who this is, right? If you had seen my previous video, this is Vani, my wife, and I am on YouTube. We are making content, and in fact, we have started a new channel called Vegan Vani. Vegan Vani, and it's a channel in Tamil, right?
Yeah.
And I got a complaint last time saying that I talk too much. I never allow you to talk. Okay. So our channel Vegan Vani is in Tamil, so we are still active. And as many of you know, I have currently taken a 100-day break from activism to study Hindi. So far, things are going well as per plan. You can start expecting new videos in Hindi to drop from March onwards, and I am planning to drop them every single week, a new video. We're working really hard on it.
Yep.
And at the same time, we're uploading new content to Vegan Vani. For all of you in our previous video who gave us wonderful comments, who subscribed to our channel, who supported us, seriously, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. If any of you speak Tamil or are just interested in seeing our antics and us cooking and doing other crazy things, do check out Vegan Vani. And I guess with all of that out of the way, we can start today's video.
Yeah, actually, I also wanted to thank them personally because thank you for supporting me and accepting me. I was really nervous when I made the first video with him, and yeah, because I thought because Arvind and Lactis is mainly they are watching it for you. So the fact that you guys are supporting me and accepting me is like I was really overwhelmed. So thank you so much.
Yeah, awesome. So the topic of today is relationships with
vegan relationships.
Relationships with non-vegans, relationships that we vegans have with non-vegans. And actually, I think we can divide this into three parts. First part is your family, and next is obviously your friends, because that's a different set of relationships we have. And finally is obviously the spouse or boyfriend or girlfriend, the significant other, how to deal with all of them. Which one do you want to start with? Choose the interesting one.
I think
choose the interesting one.
We'll keep the best for the last.
Choose the interesting one. Okay, fine. No, why do you keep it for last? They came into the video to hear us talk.
No, that's how most YouTube videos are.
Yeah.
The main content on the thumbnail will appear towards the end. That's all.
I feel people want to know that's like the main thing. Okay, so let me start off with a question first to you. Just give me your answer. Can or should a vegan date or fall in love or be in a relationship with a non-vegan?
I don't have a yes or no for this. The answer is quite elaborate.
Give your take on it.
If you are already committed to someone, even before you went vegan, you are already in a relationship with someone. It's not like you can just break up, right? Because the other person is not willing to accept what you have newly adapted. But at the same time, it's not easy. But if you are single, if I were single and I'm already a vegan, I will never even want to consider a non-vegan spouse. Yeah, that's my answer.
Really?
I mean, it really depends on how they. It really depends on whether or not they are willing to even accept or showing any signs of changing in the future. Like it's because every individual is different. So I do not know how to answer this.
The way this affects men and women in society as vegans is disproportionate. It's not the same. Especially when you live in a country like India. This is not a westernized country where women can just choose, you know what, I'm not getting married, I'm going to work. It's not that easy here in India. So let's say, for example, you and I never met, okay, and you were a vegan. And obviously, at this point, your parents would have brought up the idea to you saying that, hey, you want to marry somebody, we can find a good man for you or whatever. And you do find someone, they're obviously non-vegan, not everyone's going to be vegan, right? So at that point, you would proceed with that, right? You would not exactly say like, no, mom, dad, I will not get married. I want to have a vegan husband. Would you say that? Dating is different, I agree, but marriage is, at least in our culture in India, is different, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would not say that. I would not object. Like I said, I will have to see what kind of a guy he is. But I would give preference to vegetarians at least because giving up meat is a big thing for many people. So at least when that one step is like already a default for that person, so probably there is a chance. So yeah, but yes, once you get older and you get kind of desperate to get married and settle down, maybe you can't be too picky, right? So at that point, I might say yes.
Makes sense. No, again, I completely understand. In fact, I know personally there are many women who are in relationships, who are married. Like you said, they got married, both were non-vegan, or they were in a relationship already, both were non-vegan. Suddenly, the female decides to go vegan in
Yes,
that.
yes.
And then she is still forced to now cook non-veg.
Yeah, but that is a totally different case because they are already committed even before one person went vegan, right? So that is really, really complicated.
And that is like if people were to ask us like, do you have a solution like this? I'm like, at least if I were to speak about my experiences, I think one should give up trying to make their friends and family go vegan. Again, it really depends because your family, the scenario is different from mine. I know there are many vegans who the children went vegan or the mother
and
went
the
vegan.
parents
Everyone listens.
Yeah.
Like there are actually sensible, good families in India, and that shocks me because I come from a traditional Indian family, and apologies, traditional Indian families are not too sensible. Whatever the elders say is right. It's always right. You can never question it.
It's kind of like a conditioning because they have been brought up in a certain way. So even it's really odd for them to have their child, say
the
something.
The oddest thing for them is not what we do or what we eat. The oddest thing in that is that they no longer have control on our beliefs. They, according to most traditional Indian families, like what? Oh my God, the dog wants to come in.
Yeah, she's just staring.
We're recording a video. Shh, go. Stay outside, we'll let you in sometime. Okay, stay outside. Sorry. So anyways, in most traditional Indian families, like the whole the sense of authority, they want to have a sense of authority over the kids. They want to control you in everything you do. Like my son should study here, then go to this college, study this particular thing, do their masters here, then they have to go work, and they want to go and boast about it everywhere. When they find out that their children don't obey them, it
hurts them.
It doesn't hurt them per se. It's like, oh crap, I don't have control on them. So they just want to purposely say no to you. That's another dynamic that goes along. You can say in Indian households. If I also, like for example, when I had my Upanayanam ceremony, that is the sacred thing for Brahmins,
You were very young
10
back
years
then.
old. I was 10 years old, and I told my parents, Mom, Dad, I will not wear silk. Again, I was not a vegan back then, but I was
something
always
about silkworms.
I was against animal cruelty back then. So I was like, I won't wear silk, and I even told them like, don't buy silk in my name for the thing. So they almost made almost an entirely silk-free Upanayanam.
Nice.
So let's say if I were getting married to someone else who's not a vegan, I think as the son-in-law, the Mappala, the groom's family, we have more of a say in how we want. I can say the food is going to be vegan. And the clothes are going to be vegan. But would you be okay in getting married to someone if the wedding is completely non-vegan and meat was served for the entire wedding and people are wearing silk and leather and they were gifting you such things?
Definitely not.
So that is a condition you would make very clear to your groom when you are...
Even before we discuss anything further, once, I don't know, if the marriage is like kind of arranged, so through the matrimony or through the middle person, probably I'll tell them that these are the rules, and that definitely, I hope, there definitely are people out there who will, come to a compromise, right? Especially like I said, especially if the family is a vegetarian family, it's easier for them because the one thing that they have to exclude then would just be milk and milk items.
Right.
And,
I think that's a smart thing.
So,
but again, silk is something they will not. People are very, very, very like ingrained. It's ingrained in their head. Like if they don't put silk for their bride, according to them, they are poor people.
Yes.
And they're saying like, dude, when my relatives come to the wedding and see that I have not draped my bride in silk, it means I'm poor.
No, how about artificial silk? It is also silk, right? Technically,
it looks like silk, but again, this is why you have to talk to them. It's kind of hard. And again, like you said, if we never met and I were in a relationship if I were in a relationship, I was in a relationship. I was. I'm saying, like, no, English grammar. Not you were. You say to me you were, not you was. So anyway, sorry guys. I was in a relationship with a non-vegan, and I didn't. Thank God.
It didn't go well.
Thank God I didn't marry her. Oh my good God, I cannot even imagine
She might be watching this video. You better be careful.
What is she gonna do? But the point is that. Anyways.
But I think that is not the only issue in your relationship, right?
Hindu-Christian wedding?
Multiple things. I don't think this is like TMI right now. Okay, anyways. Moving on.
Okay, let's just say a different girl. Let's say a girl. Okay, Let's say you, but you're vegetarian. Or you're a non-vegetarian, arranged marriage, whatever it is. So yeah, I think if look, okay, one more just point I want to put out here, guys. We are all vegans in the vegan community. We're looking for vegan partners, many of us. But just letting you know, just because someone is vegan and you're also vegan doesn't mean you'll get along.
You will get along, yes.
Oh my goodness. The amount of differences between us is, there are so many similarities, thank goodness, but there are quite a lot of differences as well.
I think that is normal for most couples
humans,
out there.
As human beings, there will be. And so people are like, oh, I'm vegan, you're vegan. Understand that vegans also lie. Vegans cheat. I'm just saying. Vegans are humans, and humans behave like human beings. So, like, all I can say is that do not keep that one thing. So, if I were single and I were in the vegan community, obviously I would keep my eyes open and mind open to find a vegan partner, a person who's vegan. But let's just say I could find someone who's vegetarian, like in a matrimonial site or something. Yeah, I think I'll go forth with it. Again, I had to make my partner understand, like you said, what veganism actually is. Hope that they understand that this is something very serious to me.
Yes.
Again, it shouldn't be like,
I think that is the first step. They shouldn't.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke, and we should make it clear to them. Just like if you marry a person from another religion, you will definitely know that it is like what do you say, the unspoken rule that you have to respect their religion, and that this is nothing to make fun of. So in the same way, they should understand that this is not just a diet or fad. So yeah, that is
I mean, like
the first step,
if you were to marry a Brahmin and you are not from a Brahmin community, you would not say like, hey, let's get some beef tonight.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. Like, you know they don't eat that. You know they're against that. You won't marry a Muslim and say like, let's get some pork tonight. It doesn't work that. You will not do that. Similarly, I mean, if someone's getting married to a vegan, they should realize this is not something to joke about animal cruelty. And again, at least back in other cases, it's like, oh, just no beef, just no pork. Here it's like, no meat, milk, eggs, honey,
a lot of
leather,
things.
wool, silk, zoos, circus, pets, like it make up the test on animals. I know it's a bit draining, but they have to be willing to put up with my crap if they want to, be in my life. I think that as vegans, we have to make sure our significant other understands that part.
And also, not just them, we also have to understand. Please hold on. Like, did you switch on the mic?
Yeah,
okay, sorry. And not just that, we as vegans also have to understand that we chose to be with this person who's not a vegan. So we cannot expect them to just automatically understand everything or just accommodate according to what we believe and everything. We should know that we chose to live with this person. So there has to be some, how do you say this, like, at least be patient. In the beginning, just be patient and deal with it in a proper way, because this is your partner you're dealing with. So yeah,
true, that's
both sides,
true.
like from both sides, you should have some give and take in the way we deal with handle each other.
That is true. And one sad position I do want to talk about is, especially I told you, I know many vegans who are housewives and they do cook meat and like.
That's really sad.
Here's another thing. Like in the vegan community, we have a lot of judgmental people. So when such a woman comes forward and says like, I don't know what to do, the first thing some vegans say is, like, oh, you cook for them? Oh, you're not a vegan.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, like, understand that, I understand what they're doing is messed up, but they are not doing it because they enjoy it or they want to. They literally are in a bond.
I know, it's really complicated.
Husband and wife, and the husband is not understanding and he's asking you to cook. And that's like a basic thing that a housewife does for the husband. It's like,
because if she's going to say no and refuse to cook for the husband, then she has to face a lot of things, not just from the partner, even from the family, and they might already have kids, so you can't just say leave him or just choose not to.
I don't want to say names where the mother is vegan again and the father is not vegan, and just to irritate the mother, when they go out to eat, the dad will make the son eat meat.
No, that's actually really bad.
That's very bad. That's extremely bad.
No, actually, to be very frank, I think when such things happen, there is something deeper and more profound that is needed to be addressed there, because it's not a question of veganism. This is more of a relationship problem, right? Because in relationships we have to tolerate each other, give and take, and there is a lot of places where you have to just meet halfway. So if the other person is behaving that way, that I think is something more serious that you need to address.
Like I said, it's the same thing that happens in India between parents and children, also husband and wife. According to the husband, she is not under my control.
Yes.
So I will put fear in her. See, I'll make you do exactly what you don't like. It's sad. Not all relationships, but some sadly are quite toxic like that.
Maybe it's coming from a different place itself.
Yeah.
Like they are, I don't know, insecure, or maybe they are just some kind of ego that's stopping them from complying. We don't know. Yeah.
So we've spoken a lot about arranged marriage. This is like an arranged marriage discussion. Like again, we're not trying to conclude anything, guys. We're just saying what we think and feel. Like this is again, as vegans, there is no proper conclusion to these things here right now.
Yes.
And okay, how about a relationship when it comes to stuff like boyfriend, girlfriend, dating and stuff? Okay, since I know this firsthand,
Yeah,
I
you
tell
can talk about
I'll
your
talk about it.
experience.
Yeah, like if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend who makes fun of you, who goes to Google and searches why veganism doesn't make sense, and they all note down these points,
Wow.
and then they call in the phone like, "Hello, Aravind, do you know that
Sure.
so much of soy is being cultivated by clearing the rainforest? Why are you vegans?" Like, if they are doing crap like that, please cut them out of your life immediately. You don't want to be. I don't see what is so special in another human being that you're willing to have them. You're willing to be with them, even though they're putting you down, they're making fun of you, they're not agreeing with anything you say. Like, you know, they're just there to drag you down, and that's because they feel bad. And yeah, my ex was a terrible person on many fronts. Okay, on many fronts. And what else can I say? She would always say that she felt very uncomfortable to eat meat in front of me, and I was like, yes, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's how it should be, right?
Yeah. But again, the dynamics is very hard, like you said, especially when it comes to meat. It's very, because in India at least, like already we have a big gap between vegetarians and non-vegetarians. So like you said, when the other person is a vegetarian, even if they're going to eat paneer and ghee or butter, like for us, we're going to be like, why are they doing this? But since we were raised in this culture, we see a vast difference between dairy products and meat, which is actually shouldn't exist, but we do see it. So when the opposing partner is a non-vegetarian and you're a vegan and they eat meat in front of you, it becomes much more difficult indeed.
Yes.
And see, it changes a lot of dynamics. Like when you go out to eat, what will you eat? It's not the same anymore at all. Earlier, they might be like, hey, I want to bake a cake and bring it for you, and now they can't because you don't eat eggs. Like there's just so much to look at here.
In fact, I had a friend, this is not about veganism actually, this person, she was a vegetarian, but she had to eat meat after she got into a relationship because the husband, the boyfriend was complaining like, you know, we can't share food, and that is one of the most important thing in relationships. Like, you know, the romance is missing, and he feels that the connection is not there. So she had to put up with even changing her diet for the relationship.
Yeah,
so,
I think one thing we can conclude here, at least for this particular topic, is if you're married, well, you're stuck kind of. So I don't exactly have a proper advice for you. But if you are in a relationship with a person, I think it's important for us to have some self-respect and understand that instead of us asking question, we should make it very clear, is this person worthy of having me?
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, if they're a complete jerk and they're insensitive to you and your beliefs, I mean, what kind of love is going on there between you guys?
First of all, that shouldn't be allowed at all,
Yeah,
because that's the basic. Like it's common sense to not hurt the other person or make them feel, I don't know, belittle them and stuff. So
True. And there are many relationships, unfortunately, that are like that, like from both sides.
It's sad. And also, if this is they have yet to get married, then I think it's best to just sit down and discuss a list of things that can become a problem in the future, especially, you know, when you're getting married, it's like two families meeting. Like when you're in a relationship, it's just you and this person. So yeah, how you deal with the other person, and how is the wedding going to take place, and then kids, how are you going to raise the kids?
I don't think we will ever have any experience to talk about that, because
that's a completely different topic.
That's a completely different topic. Yeah, that relationship is not going to be mentioned in this video.
Yes.
But yeah, marriage, we already saw that. But a relationship like a boyfriend, girlfriend, a dating kind of one, it is hard. But again, as I told you before, if you're dating, if you're just dating someone for fun, that's cool. And if you're dating a vegan also, and if it's just for fun, that's actually kind of cool, because I think I've seen it happen quite a few times when two vegans get together. They're like, oh my god, this is like two universes collide. It's gonna be all perfect.
Yeah, it
could
not
be,
like that.
and it's great if it could.
It's not always like that.
Yeah, but relationships, I had to let you know, especially marriages. Okay, if you're single right now, never been in a relationship before, and you think, you know what, I can be in a relationship, you may be right, but understand that that's completely different from being single. It's a completely different world.
Yes.
And getting married and living together is completely different from being in just a relationship. These three things are like separate universes by themselves.
Yep.
So you have to be willing to put up them vegan or non-vegan. You have to be able to talk things out. That's the
true.
proper communication. Like that's most important in any relationship.
each of them have been growing up in a different kind of setting, like throughout their life, like for the first 20 to 25 years of their life, and suddenly now they have to share a roof with this other person who has been growing up in a completely different brought up. So a lot of things have to be discussed, and if your principles do not match, it's a big challenge, because along with the other problem, this is like an additional thing that you have to deal with now.
See, for me, I think I can make it very clear that if I had a partner who is a vegetarian or non-vegetarian, a non-vegan, I would try to first, as you said, talk to them, explain things to them. But if they start saying, like, after explaining everything to them, if they still remain like stupid, arrogant, ignorant, and senseless,
as in you will talk and try to convince them, or just
I'll just
ask
give them the
to
points. I'll give them all the points. I'll explain to them why I'm vegan and all this stuff. But if they just refuse to understand it, I think after a point, my respect for them will just shoot completely down, because not only is it cruel, but I tend to look at them as idiots. I mean,
this is becoming an activism video right now.
No, their IQ is kind of low. I mean, like, if that's the honest truth. Like, I mean, for me at least, I find intelligence to be a great turn on. Like, I love people who are intelligent, everyone has a brain, but very few people use the brain, right? And so when I see people like, and non-vegans on gender, when you look at the reasons, they give all the reasonings, and it's
sometimes
stupid,
sometimes deep down they do understand, but they have this kind of social pressure from families also, and then what else? They are addicted maybe to this non-veg and everything, so, or misinformation, so a lot of things that, all factors just they come together.
You clarify all of that. Okay, you invite them to potlucks, vegan potlucks, they meet all your vegan friends, they meet vegan bodybuilders, sports people, so they're like, this can be done, they understand clearly.
Even after understanding, if they are going to do that, then then maybe that person's not for you.
I'm speaking from perspective, if I were not an activist. Now, me being a vegan activist and dedicating my life to this, there's no way in hell I would ever could even consider a non-vegan partner. Like, I mean, what use would they be? Like, I mean, honestly, for me, it's like, okay, we're together and we are able to do so many wonderful things together. We're able to achieve things for our movement and our cause together, because we both genuinely want to work for this. We both understand each other, we care for each other, we love each other. So it's the sync.
It's in sync.
Synchronicity. I don't know. We're in sync. Okay, we're in sync basically. Now, if I want to achieve all of this, and I'm going to meet someone like, oh my God, but plants feel pain. I mean, like, where do you fit on this? Like, you are like completely.
You can't.
You're a waste of my time. You're the kind of person I try to change. You're not the person who lives with me. I mean, come on. Like, as an activist, if you're part of any movement or any ideology or belief system where that means the most to you, like, even if you're a part of a religious group where you're trying to convert people, you cannot marry someone of another religion.
Sooner or later, it will create a conflict. Like, even though you try to pretend like nothing is wrong between you, even though the other person is not eating non-vegan food at home, like, we can just pretend for so long, right? After that, the friction will just grow, even though you suppress it. So it's not a good idea, especially for a person like him. Because I see some people in the vegan groups, they say like, it's not a big deal for me, like, he's not a vegan, but we don't cook non-vegan food at home. So some people are like that, they just are able to accept and, just live with them, and for them it's like meeting halfway. So it depends on what kind of an individual you are.
What do you want to achieve in life? For me, I want to achieve something in life for our cause, and I need someone like me. I don't need some random idiot. Just saying, anyways.
Also, editing videos, with cruelty footages, they might trigger that, the anger and everything. So might
first of all,
of a sudden.
I mean, if you were a non-vegan, why would you help me out in what I'm doing and what I am preaching? It literally goes against the very fundamental things you do 3 times a day. Why would you even care? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So that's basically about, I guess, marriages, relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, dating, all that stuff. And very much from an Indian perspective, I would say, because so far we can see videos about this from 1 second, guys. Oi!
Eating something.
Stop eating that. What do you call it? Sit down for a while.
It's the thread from the socks.
Yeah, she's torn the socks to shreds over there. So, what was I saying? Yeah, this is an Indian perspective for all of this. And so, any other extra points you need to add when it comes to this kind of relationship?
I guess yes, but you can just move on to the next
No, no,
subtopic.
please do.
No. If I remember it, then I might add
Sure,
to
why
the
not?
previous
You
one.
can bring it back then. So, the next topic we can talk about is maybe friends. How do you deal with friends, non-vegan friends? Now, before you start, I just want to give it right out my point. I have no friends. Okay, I'm a loner. Okay, I don't. Here it's first. I don't know if it's the first time I'm saying this, but I don't like human
All
beings.
your vegan friends are going to be so offended.
No, they're friends. They're friends. But see, I think, look, of course, I have friends. It's not. How do I say this? Like a friend,
You don't hang out with
hang
someone.
out
like,
with them or enjoy their company so much to the point where I like to talk to them or only
Share
my
your
personal stuff with them.
problems.
No, because there are only two people. Then you and Jayasilan. That's it. I have only like two friends.
we can add picture.
Yeah, we can have brother's picture over here. So I have only two friends. Of course, I talk to a lot of other vegans. I work with them. I try to help them do activism or anything else. That's all that I'm a part of the community. But not even that. I'm not that active in the community, by the way. I'm also an introvert by nature. I prefer to be to myself. And
Even as a non-vegan, you didn't have that much of a
no,
friends.
as a non-vegan, I had a lot of friends.
Okay.
I had lots and lots of friends, and I think the problem with me is again it's the same thing. When I look at them, I see a brick wall. Okay, I'm sorry if I keep saying this and offend some people. I'm sorry, but in my eyes, if I have made you see what I have seen, if I have explained to you what I got explained to me, and you still come up and say that lions eat meat, you don't have a functioning brain. Something is wrong with you inside here. You're sick in the head. So, now, how can I have such an opinion on another human being and think I can be their friend? I am not like, okay, think of it this way. If everyone around me was a racist, okay, complete, utter racist, and everyone was a freaking misogynist, always putting down women, treating them terribly, and treating people of other races like they're worth nothing, they're casteist people, I would hate them just as much. Letting you know, I cannot deal. Okay, let's just say you're a vegan. If you're a racist, I still can put up with you. If you're a casteist or a sexist or anyone else, I cannot, or a homophobe, I cannot put up with people who are bigoted. I cannot put up with people who are violent. And since majority of human beings really are violent, and I first and foremost care so much about genuineness and honesty, a person like me can probably have only 2 or 3 friends in this world. So so I don't
Yes.
have friends. I don't go out and eat with friends. I eat only with her. I go out and eat with her sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry guys, like I think the battery,
camera stopped.
Camera died or something. Okay, it's working again right now. So, anyways, the point is that I don't have friends. I don't deal with such problems or such scenarios. What is your take on it? You're a loner too, but anyways, you talk.
Yeah, I think by nature, I used to be a very reserved person, even when I was staying in a hostel. Of course, we had friends and everything, but I've always felt this, I don't know, some kind of a gap with most of them. I pick my friends, those who are like me. It's easier to get closer to them. So I have this very small circle of friends with whom I'm really close with. And yeah, some of them, after marriage, usually girls, we don't really keep in touch as much as boys do. And since I live in another country now, I don't even get to meet them too often. So I have a few, and they are not vegans. And when I first went vegan, we really had a lot of arguments, and I spoke to them about veganism. My approach was not the best one because, back then we didn't know how to properly put forth the message. We were really
bad influence on you.
Yes, but I also watch a lot of Gary's videos. So I speak just like Gary to people who do not know what veganism is. So yeah, that was, that is not the right thing to do. So after a point, I realized that this cannot work. If I really want to keep them as my friends, then I'll just have to pretend that part of the, what do you say, like that different doesn't exist. Like I just have to pretend that way, because otherwise they are, I just love them so much. Just the way I love my parents, my family. So yeah, but I do not have too many friends. Like my circle is really small.
True.
Yeah, that's all.
I think that's a good take. So you don't exactly face scenarios where you're going out to eat with friends, non-vegan friends.
Okay.
What would you do?
It's like, I think it's a given. I never request them to not have non-veg in front of me, but it's a given. Like when you are with someone who's ethically forgoing meat and animal products, then I think it's common sense for you to show respect by not ordering this kind of stuff, right? At least my friends understood that. So they always eat what I eat when we go out. So that's never a problem for me.
Like, yeah, and again, from my perspective, even if I do have a lot of vegans as friends, also, like I know many vegans. Like
Yes, of course you do, and all of them know you.
Yeah, but the thing is that even with them, I don't really like to hang out and spend much time. Even with vegans,
Yeah.
because even among vegans, I like to more so talk to people who also want to do more activism or get the message out or
Right.
change more people. I'm not too interested in again, nothing wrong. I'm not talking down about any vegan here. Like if you like to cook or do other things, that's awesome. As long as you're vegan,
yeah.
like I have no issue
Also,
at all.
just a disclaimer, he is a very weird guy. So
Oh, yeah.
he might not be like most of us out there. So it's an
True, yeah, yeah.
unpopular
Yeah,
habit and belief,
unpopular
yeah.
thing. I'm not like most people, and I am very like I pick one thing to do in my life, and I pretty much like focus entirely on that. I put my entire life. I make my entire life around that one thing.
Yes.
So if I meet other activists who are also interested in activism and do other things to promote veganism, plant-based dieting, or whatever, like I completely am with them. Like that's my kind of people.
Also, I noticed that even when you try to strike a conversation when we are among our friends, vegan friends, like even if they talk about their vacations or just normal stuff, like little things that they do, which is not exactly related to veganism, he doesn't really get too involved in the conversation. He doesn't try to ask more about it. Like he tries to not knowingly but unknowingly, he just kind of, how do you say this, bring back the conversation towards activism, veganism. Like his whole world is just revolving around this. So that's all he knows.
True. I would say that's both a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a good thing because if you really want to achieve a lot in a particular, again,
You have to be a bit crazy.
You have to be obsessed with
Yeah,
something.
obsessed, yes.
Only then you can achieve. If you're not obsessed, you're not going to achieve much in whatever field you're working in.
Yes.
But number two, yeah, it makes you a bit weird. You don't have many friends. But I don't miss the fact that I don't have so many friends. So it doesn't bother me at all. At all. Like
Yeah.
I'm happy with my two friends. So one of them's right here. One of them lives with me. So I'm happy. Like I live a happy, fulfilled life, guys. I have no qualms or problems at all. And I am grateful for that. Seriously, if I were married to a non-vegan, if I were married to my ex, oh my goodness, that is the worst thing. Like, and if I had gotten married to a non-vegan, I wouldn't be able to do activism the way I do right now. But it's so nice to have a friend and a partner who understands you and you're able to work with. And I'm grateful for that. I really am grateful for that.
Yeah, and also when you have a partner who understands the job that you do, the technicalities of it, like we can edit videos together, we can shoot together, and yeah, that is a really good thing because the other person can cover for you when you are not well or you need to do something else, so it's just a blessing for us. And
that's true. That is true. And something else I wanted to say.
about friends.
Not
Yeah, well, about friends, I think, have we covered everything?
really. Well, in a way, I can say is that both of us are a bit strange actually.
We are.
Because okay, we don't really make an attempt to go out and meet our vegan friends also too often. It's not like you also. It's not like you're in touch with a lot of vegan friends, are you? Like I'm saying, I think both of us are kind of like it's called reclusive behavior. Like we enjoy
at
keeping
home.
to ourselves. We don't really.
Yes.
I don't.
We are friendly people, so then don't.
She's friendly.
Don't
She's
get us
a
wrong.
nice person. No. I'll be honest. I could be somewhat of a semi-jerk, not such a nice person. It depends on what kind of a person you are. But look, here's my honest thing. You know whom I like, vegan, non-vegan, regardless. I like people who are genuine, who are honest, who will speak things on my face. I respect such people.
Yes.
You can vouch for that. I really respect such people.
So he does not lie.
I don't lie.
Even for the smallest things, and you might think I'm just exaggerating, but yes, he doesn't lie. And that is one thing that I really like about him. And only after getting to know him more and after the marriage, I felt like, I kind of, it's, how do you say this? Like I changed a little bit after seeing him because completely being honest is actually a very good quality. Even though if he doesn't like the food I make or everything, like there is something called brutally honest, but at this point I really don't mind because all I need is for him to be honest to me. So yeah. He's a very honest person.
I don't lie in my life. I
Yes.
don't like lying. It's something I cannot. If I lie, it makes me feel sick. And honestly, if I were to lie in my life, I could have had a better life in various different ways. Like I'm just saying, like my life, be it financially or in every other way, I don't, and it's because I am so honest that I get myself into problems at times.
Because people don't do that usually.
Yeah, people don't like
because
honesty.
we tend to say things that other people like or other people want to hear, and he's not
I
like that.
cannot do that. I'll only. So that's why I avoid talking to people in general. Because if I talk, I'm going to be honest, or I'll just be like, I mean, like just yesterday, we were going for a walk around the block, right? And we saw one of our neighbors crossing by, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and then he walked away, and I walked away, and she's like, smile at him. He's our freaking neighbor. What's wrong with you? And I was like, dude, listen. If I smile, and then we strike up a conversation right now, and tomorrow, every time we see, it's like, hi, bye. And like
That is draining for him.
yeah, it's draining. I don't really like it, and it's not going to progress anywhere. Look, if that neighbor has an issue tomorrow and he needs our help, of course I'll help the person. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a heartless person. Of course, I'm not interested in this.
I think you're just a kind of a reserved person, you can say, right? Reserved
Yeah, what's the thing called?
No, that
when you talk for no reason, people just keep
loose
saying-
talk.
Not loose talk.
Small talk.
Small talk.
Small
Yeah,
talk.
small talk. Like I mean, like if you have my phone number or something, if you have any information to pass on to me, send it on WhatsApp. Or just call me and say, hey, Arvind, you don't have to be, hey man, how are you? Long time. None of that. I won't mistake you at all. Don't worry. Many people think that asking that makes them feel better. Asking that to me actually pisses me off. I'm like, dude, you ask.
Come to the point.
You want to help? You want some help from me? Ask it. It's totally fine. I won't mistake you at all. You're a friend. You can ask me. So ask. Like I don't like this. So what do you have? Any plan for the night? I'm like, oh my god, like. I just don't like small talk. It just doesn't suit my nature at all. So yeah, that's it. So I guess the difference between you and me is we are on principle the same. The way we project ourselves outside is a bit different. You are much more mellow, more nice, more approachable. People can actually talk to you.
I'll talk behind their back though to him, but then he will say, why don't you just say it on their face? People don't do that. If I don't if I think someone's wearing some weird outfit, like if they ask me how they look, I definitely am going to say that they look great. So that's just how people are. And for him, it's like, why would you say that? They looked horrible.
They look like crap.
It's as if he cannot understand why I did that. Like, why lie? That's his question always. So yeah.
So I guess that's it about friends. I guess yes, that's definitely a lot more. But coming from weirdos like us, especially me, I guess that's as much.
I think we are really the wrong kind of people to address this whole topic.
But maybe as vegans in this world, you have to kind of be like us. Maybe we are like we have gone maybe too far at one end, but you kind of have to have this side to you, else the world will just chew you up and spit you out, seriously.
Also, they have to note something. We are also working from home. So we do not have the chance to actually be around a lot of people and pick our friends. We had that once, but now...
Goodness. Oh
yeah,
my goodness,
so
thank
our
you.
life has become like way simpler and our circle has become like smaller since we started working at home.
I have a dog. And the dog is awesome.
We have a dog, yes.
Dog is awesome.
Yeah.
So... Dogs really cool. I love animals. Animals
Of
are damn
course.
cool. I would love to hang out with them.
Yeah, animals like Jaislin.
Animals like Jason, dog, buffalo, donkey, cow, chicken, any animal. Like I would love to just chill. I would love to have like a chicken on my lap and just listen to some music and just watch a movie. I would love to watch a movie with a chicken. I would love to do that if the chicken's okay with it. Humans, anyways. So. Animals are much awesome. They don't judge you. They don't speak unnecessarily. Yes. And when they do communicate, it is so genuine, and you can understand them by just looking into their eyes and just seeing their body language. I mean, that's just beautiful.
He's like genuinely an animal person since he was young. So I'm not so much of that kind of a person.
That's a big difference between me and you. And I discovered this part only after our marriage, and we were like, what? Like, he was like, we had a few turbulent times. Like, she is, no, don't say you are not an animal person. I am basically an animal lover. I'm one of those crazy nut people who, since a young age, will go on the streets, pet the random dogs, not wash his hands, then go and take all the biscuits in the house and put it for the dogs. I'm that guy. Okay, she is not an animal lover. She is the kind of person who sees an animal like, Speaking
I used to be scared of them.
Sorry, one thing. Just before we started the shooting, there's a lizard in the house.
Ooh.
I hate lizards. Please,
Where was it?
It was behind this cupboard. Please chase it out, okay? Please.
I will later.
Yeah.
You should have told me just now.
I forgot. Anyways,
That's okay.
sorry guys. Like I have a phobia.
It's
of
so
lizards.
ironic. You just were talking about being.
Okay, I don't like the following 3 animals, and do not judge me for this. The animal I dislike the most, number 1 is human beings. Second is snakes. Third is lizards, and fourth.
Cats. Cat lovers are going to attack you.
I don't like cats, guys. I'm sorry. I don't like cats. They remind me of my ex-girlfriend.
And
Cats
it's
are
as
jerks.
if the cats can sense that he doesn't like them.
Yeah, they see me and
So
they start hissing and
I think
showing
they
their claws.
get the aura from
Yeah,
you.
dogs love me. Cats hate me, and I hate cats too. So, anyways, so
Don't say you hate. Hate is a strong
Okay, I
word.
don't-
That's what they're going to say in the comment
okay, I
section.
hate humans. I hate snakes. Screw you. I'm scared of lizards and I dislike cats. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Politically correct animal lover. Anyways, she is not one of an animal lover, and that kind of clashed in the beginning between
As
us.
in, like, let's make this clear. Like, it's not that I hate animals, but I'm not like, how do you say this? Like,
She's not like me.
yeah, I'm not obsessed with them. Obviously, when you go vegan for ethical reasons, that means you don't want to hurt animals because you understand that they also feel everything that we feel. So, the way we feel. So, other than that, like, he always likes to pet the dogs on the streets and everything, but I used to be scared of
Like,
them.
if we go for a walk and I see a cow, I'm like, oh my god, I want to hug the cow. She's like, don't go near it, it'll hit you. I'm like, no. I just pet the cow.
I
and run
always
away.
think of the dangers of it. Like, what if I feel like animals are so unpredictable, especially when they are bigger than you.
They are
So,
unpredictable. I'm not denying that.
yeah, so the fear actually takes over, and I would say, like, don't do that because the cow literally will have like this huge, sharp horns, and he will say, like, it's okay, I'll just go and pet the cow. So, yeah,
Won't
I
do
always stop
anything.
him.
It doesn't do anything.
So, you think?
It doesn't. I know them well. Okay, but anyways, moving on to the final topic right now, and that
Right.
is relationship with our family and different kinds of family members. Now, for this, also in the beginning, let me just give out my small take, and then we'll have a normal, sensible, rational human
What are you going to
being.
say?
Because I'm not normal, sensible, or rational. I'm rational, extremely rational. That's the problem. So, first things first, just like how I spoke about animals, hate is a strong word. Dislike is also a strong word. Let's just say, I don't like my family. There's a lot of stuff wrong with it, and we have all just drifted apart. And that's a big story. But, anyways, in short, never had a big connection with them. And this has nothing to do with veganism, by the way. So when I went vegan, of course, I did approach my parents and told them about it. They immediately brushed me off like that. I knew they would. And either way, I was moving out within a span of a few months, and I did, and they moved away. And they know I'm vegan, obviously. They know, I mean, I'm married to a freaking vegan. They know I'm vegan. She's vegan. They know if they know the son is like making some videos online. My parents basically think I'm a nutcase. They think from then till now, they know their son's mental. They think I'm crazy.
That's part true.
They're partially true in many ways. I am crazy. I don't need to go into the details. Basically, I don't talk about veganism to my family. I don't even encounter my family that often. And I rarely ever sit down to eat with my family. So I don't face that issue at all. When it comes to other family members like cousins and stuff, not in touch with anybody.
Yeah, but we do attend some family functions.
Yeah, in the
and,
family functions when I meet them,
it's just like I wouldn't say it's a formal hi, but then you guys kind of meet and just ask about what's going on in each
and
other's
the
life.
only reason I go to my family functions is because this creature will be like, dude, if you don't go, I can't go alone. And if I don't go, I will earn a bad name. So at least for my sake, please come to the bloody function.
Also, it's not only for the sake of the name. Like, I mean, that's what families do. I do not understand why he wouldn't attend the function, especially if it's it's a marriage of someone or a ceremony of someone who's really close to you. Isn't it a thing? So for me, it's weird that we don't show up there. So,
Fair enough. I completely understand that. And if anyone disagrees with me on what I'm about to say right now, I can completely understand why you would be that way. Because most human beings, we understand that we are a species that gains strength, social, we gain strength by being large in numbers. That's how we managed to survive and evolve throughout the thousands of years we've been alive so far. So it's very important that humans interact and mingle. And not being able, for many vegans, they realize when they become vegan, they cannot do that. And now they see someone like me who probably made them vegan saying that he doesn't interact at all, doesn't send forth a good message. Okay, it doesn't. So letting you know that I am at the abnormal camp. I am the oddball. I am the weirdo, not you. But the weirdo, the oddball, the abnormal dude does have something to say. Like I stated earlier, when I go to these weddings and stuff, when I see these so-called normal, they could be my family or whoever they could be, so-called normal human beings going about the normal daily routines and stuff. Again, as I told you, if you were to put me in a group, if I had a family who was nothing but a group of racists, okay, I would struggle. Like I don't get happiness seeing them. If they were nothing but people who wanted to, like, I don't know, like kill other people, it's like, what the hell? Like, why would you want to mingle? I would consider them crazy, right? Similarly, when it comes to veganism, it's not just the fact that they are non-vegan. It's the fact that they are comfortable being where they are. They have no intention to learn or at all. And again, like most other humans, they are dishonest. They are selfish. They are apathetic. I'm describing most human beings, right? They are dishonest, selfish, apathetic. They lie. Humans lie. Oh my goodness! When it's convenient for us, humans lie so much. Like that. In fact, if you look at all my videos where I do these comical skits where I put my teeth like that, I'm trying to just show to what level the hypocrisy runs. That's the whole point. I'm trying to exaggerate and show. Like, so since most humans are like that, it's just. So at one point, especially after being vegan for like now, this is my 8th year. Seventh year. Sorry, my 7th year. And doing activism for so long and seeing all the videos and stuff I have seen, my perception of the world is completely different from most normal people. But most normal people are actually very, very crazy people. They are the one living in a bubble. I am the one not living in a bubble. So it's just very hard for us to make contact. But since she calls me, I'll go there and I'll just sit. My goodness, she will go around and meet all her. Hi, how are you? So nice to meet you after a long time. Hi. You keep doing that, yeah. And they'll say to you this normal Tamil dialogue. அப்புறம் வீட்டுக்கு வாங்க. ஆமா, நீங்களும் வீட்டுக்கு வாங்க. It basically means they'll say to her, okay, nice meeting you. Do come to our house. You'll be like, yes, definitely. You also please come to our house. And I'll be like, come to our house? Don't come to my house.
No, I mean, I understand that.
She wants me to remove this entire part from the video. I can like see it.
Well, I think the best way to put it is like if you, as an individual, by nature are very loving towards your family, your parents, and I don't know, other people, your relatives and everything, but suddenly you became vegan, and also it doesn't mean that just because you're vegan now and you don't agree with your principles don't agree with how they are acting, doesn't mean that now you can't have a family. Like, I mean, once you distance yourself from them, it is like you don't have a family. The tie is not, if you're not even going to show up for their good and bad, so that means like there is a big gap there. So I do not think vegans deserve that. And in order to maintain the relationship, just because I'm a vegan now, it's sad that I don't get to mingle like I mingled before with my family. I want family too. I want to be loved and I want to love too. So it's a very complicated area. So in order to, since this is a vegan world, it is sad, but
it's have to. It's a vegan world.
Since it's a non-vegan world, we have to sadly, I don't know, pretend like these differences don't exist at times.
Yeah, no, you see, actually, from a practical perspective, you are right. Because if more vegans were like me, you would just seem like extreme crazy people. Now I'm doing this full time. They know I'm an activist. I come on TV and all this stuff. So okay, Arvind's the one crazy guy. Now if Arvind's wife is also crazy and every other vegan is crazy, it means vegans are completely just crazy people.
So it's like a cult. It's like it's like a cult.
So follow her advice on that. But here's the honest answer. Follow your heart. And if your heart's scared to do the right thing, follow her advice. Else you can be like me. But most people can't. It's not.
But one thing is for sure, even he has stopped voicing out or just expressing his anger towards people who probably will not be, even, how do you say, like,
willing to change.
Willing to change or respect the advice or message that he's going to give. So be sure not to just openly convey the message in a very rude and harsh way when you don't need to. Only speak when it's necessary. If they are asking you questions genuinely to learn something, only then maybe you can speak about veganism. Otherwise, you can just keep a distance, because that's the best way. Like now, I just appreciate the fact that he has chosen to stay
Shut
away
up.
from them instead of just deliberately going to attending functions or going to their houses and like talking bad about them or just openly condemning them, because that will make the whole scene really awkward, and the next time you meet them even to go and meet them again and say hi, it will become like a very awkward place. So yeah, in that way I'm just grateful that you are keeping shut.
Yeah, it's sad. I find it so sad that humans are so stupid.
That's not going to be the conclusion for this video. Say something nice before ending it.
I'm not concluding it. I'm just saying I just find it sad that we live in such a world where people can say so many lies and so many things and no one cares. But the moment you speak the truth, everyone is like. So when you say that, like you go and fight with your relatives, it's happened for me. I'm just reminiscing those thoughts, like my grandparents' house and certain other places. And yeah, as I said, don't fight. No, don't fight with your family. It doesn't help. Don't get angry.
If anything, you are going to hurt even more, because
that didn't happen for me. But
because the stress just builds in you, because as you see them, if you are going to scream at people like that, they might just laugh at you or not take you lightly, and that is going to again hurt you. So at least hurt people like me. I'm not sure about you.
Well. Yeah, like in the end, it's complicated what we talked about right now, dealing with non-vegans. It really depends upon individual nature of the person and what they want in life. I mean, like if you want to be the fun-going college kid who also has friends and part of a gang or a group, you can't be like me. So again, in the end, I ask only one thing of people: be vegan.
Yes.
Like if you're vegan, that's cool. If you want to be friends with your non-vegan friends, go for it. That's up to you. Who am I to judge you for that? I'm not. If you want to marry a non-vegan, who am I to judge you? I have no right to do so. I can only judge. I will judge your husband. I will judge your friends. I will judge your family members, because I only judge each individual for what wrong they do.
Yes.
Not for whom they choose to mingle with. You can't put this whole association thing. Oh, you're a vegan.
Because
you shouldn't
then
associate with non-vegans. So
life will be like really, really difficult, especially if you would want to be you are a social person, then it will be.
Here's the weird thing. You knew I was like this even before we got in a relationship, right? So what on earth, what was going through your head? Which girl would choose to get in a relationship and marry a guy like this? What is going on in your head?
I think back then, even I was like you. I wanted to. No, as in like the anger that I had was very different, because I was a new vegan. So when you watch these kind of cruelty videos for the very first time, you can't sleep. You'll be crying all night. So I was really, really depressed, and I thought like I did make a documentary which went on for like an hour and a half or something. So I thought
it went on for 3 hours. Shut up. She made a 3-hour documentary in Tamil.
Yeah, it was a horrible one. But anyways, that was my first attempt, and I thought people will watch it and just go vegan overnight. The world will, at least half the world will turn vegan overnight. Don't laugh at me.
We have to make a separate video talking about your documentary.
Come on. Actually, but in a way, it is a good thing, because that's how I got to join the group, the Indian vegan group.
Yeah,
and then
right. But wait.
I got to know you.
You contacted all the Tamil vegans and told you wanted them to help you for something
Come on,
in the documentary.
stop.
Wait. And everyone agreed to help except
You.
I was like, I took one look and I was like, dude, this isn't gonna work.
Well, like I said, destiny is real, at least in our case, because that's how I got to meet him. Like I got to connect with him online, and that's a different story. But anyways, what were we talking about?
I was asking you, why on earth did you choose a moron like me? Because you were also very much agitated and going through
Yes,
a lot of hardships at
and Yeah, and I realized that only a very few vegans was seriously making an effort to spread the message, and he was one of them. And I felt like, okay, this guy has potential, and he can go places, and I can edit videos since I'm the director of a documentary, so I thought I can help him. Producer, director, script writer, and everything. So I thought I can help him. He can speak, he can lecture. Back then he was lecturing. That was his main thing. So yeah, I thought we can, make a good.
Make things work out. Hey, guess what? It did work out.
Yeah.
Strangely,
in a different way, but yes,
yeah, but I
it
did
work
not.
out. Yeah.
I mean, it's very strange to think that. Just to think, 10 years ago, I was in college. Like, I would go vegan. I'd quit my job. And I'll marry this girl from some other country.
And we can never tell where life takes you.
Where life takes you in this short span of time. It's crazy. God knows where we're going to be in 10 years. So, yeah, anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. The time right now is almost an hour this video has been.
Yes.
So, just our ideas, our comments on basically relationships with non-vegans and how to deal with stuff. You may have learned something from this. You may not have learned something important from this.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, thanks for your... I'm sorry, the camera acted weird again. So, once again, thank you for all your support. Please do live vegan, spread the message, and expect to see videos in Hindi from the month of March. I hope I can actually deliver. So, take care, guys, and bye-bye.
Bye.